Welcome to anyone attending online to the September 17th, 2025 Open Medicine Hat Police Commission meeting. We'll get started right away, so I will open this evening with a land acknowledgement. The Medicine Hat Police Service and its Police Commission honor and acknowledge that we are situated on Treaty 7 and Treaty 4 territory, the traditional lands of the Siksika, Kainai, Piikani, Stoney Nakoda, and Tsuut'ina, as well as the Cree, Sioux, and Saulteaux bands of the Ojibwe people. We also acknowledge that we are on the traditional homelands of Métis Nation. Based on the agenda circulated, I will ask Commission to declare any known or perceived conflicts of interest. Seeing none, we will record that in the minutes. Just want to welcome everyone back after a summer break. We have a full complement of commissioners. Thank you very much for being here. And we just have regrets from Chief Murphy, so Deputy Chief Sani will be chairing on part of the police service. We will move into our business, so a motion to approve the agenda as circulated. Commissioner Sir, thank you. And Commissioner Thorson is seconding. Anybody abstaining? Opposed? The agenda is approved as circulated. And the minutes from our June 18th meeting, a motion to approve or amend. Commissioner Chukanura, thank you. And Commissioner Thorson seconds. Anybody abstained? Opposed? Minutes are approved as circulated. So we'll move into our standing items and we'll turn it over to Deputy Chief Sani, a police budget update.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Budget update to the Commission. As it stands today at year end, we're projecting a positive variance and we'll continue to provide updates throughout the year. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Chief. And our AAPG report. Commissioner Johnson. Absolutely.
Impact. I mean, usually I can hear me without it. But
It's our guests online.
Oh, okay. Anyway, they wanted to know if the any legislative changes have had any impact on our job, if anyone can think of any. If they can, please let me know soonest and I'll forward them on.
Thank you. If the service has anything they'd like to highlight through the chair, we can do that by email if anything on the offer is open to you as well, if anything has affected the service. Any other commissioners aware of anything that has been impacted by recent legislative changes? And again, the offer is open. If something comes to mind, please forward it to Commissioner Johnson. Thank you. We'll move into the Office of the Chief report, and Deputy Chief Sani, I'll have you introduce your team.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to turn it over to Inspector Graham in regards to Operations Services report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, Commission members. I'll have you turn your attention to page 11 of your package, and I'll speak to an event that occurred on August 23rd at about 2:48 in the morning. A member of our patrol section was conducting property checks in the Briar Park industrial area when a suspicious vehicle was observed. An attempt was made to stop this vehicle at this time. However, the driver fled from the police at a high rate of speed. In consideration for public safety, no pursuit was initiated, and then the members initiated an investigation and then identified the suspect as a result of that. Furthermore, on the following evening, on August 24th, patrol section responded to a complaint regarding a vehicle in the 900 block of 3rd Avenue Southeast. This vehicle was located and confirmed to be the same vehicle the previous night. Once again, the truck evaded police, and for safety reasons, again, a pursuit was not undertaken. So again, through police tactics, the vehicle was tracked into the North Flats area. where it was then located at 800A block of Bramer Street. When the officers arrived at this time, the suspect was observed re-entering the vehicle. He was located outside the vehicle, and at this time intentionally rammed a police unit before fleeing on foot. The driver was then apprehended a short distance later. As a result of this, a 24-year-old male from Weyburn, Saskatchewan was charged with several offenses, including flight from police, dangerous operation of a motor vehicle, assault police with a weapon, assault to resist arrest, resisting a police officer, driving while suspended, and failing to remain at the scene of an accident. Next, I'll have you turn your attention to page 13 of your package, and I will speak to an event that occurred last month, and it speaks to the work our downtown patrol unit is doing and the good work that they're doing. And last month, our DPU officers observed individuals exhibiting signs of drug intoxication consistent with fentanyl use. So based on this information, a 39-year-old female was arrested for trafficking a controlled substance in the downtown core. Search of this individual resulted in the seizure of quantity of fentanyl, methamphetamine. She was charged with trafficking and possession of proceeds of crime. Again, I only highlight this again because it brings to light the great work that our DPU unit is doing downtown. This is one of several examples of that type of work that's happening down there on a daily basis. That is it from the operational side of things. I'd be glad to take any of your questions.
Commission, any questions for Inspector Graham? Vice Chair King?
Yes, thank you, Inspector Graham. I just, more of a general question, and, I'm just in the last update that you gave us, to do with fentanyl and crystal meth and cocaine. Is there something that's been more prominent in our community in the last few months, one over another, or just maybe if you can just expand on that a little bit for us?
Yeah, I would have to say we're starting to see mostly fentanyl and methamphetamine use in the city, and not as much cocaine and crack cocaine. That trend has changed over the last, I would say, probably 5 years, where crack cocaine was predominantly a drug of choice on the street. It has now switched to fentanyl and methamphetamine.
Any other questions? Councillor Jumanowski?
Yeah, thank you through the chair, Inspector Graham. I'm totally different topic. The call center component there. When I look at the number of citizen contacts, advice only, front counter walk-ins, et cetera, I recall, and I certainly don't know when the official genesis of a call center was started, but I do know that having sat here during COVID, for example, and the response protocols changed, not just here, elsewhere, that the identified need and certainly expansion of people calling in or walking in and being able to field some of those calls that way grew substantially. I don't know if this is a legacy of that or not, but I do know, and certainly we all know, that there are hundreds of different types of responses that our call center and our walk-in, our service members and civilian members, I suppose, are dealing with, that inevitably take those calls that might otherwise be routed through a normal patrol unit off their workforce, if you will. So to me, it's just a broad conversation or observation, more importantly, around sometimes we think of policing in the context of patrols and DPU and all those other wonderful things, and they are incredibly and critically, important to our organization and how we police. But this, I don't want to, diminish its value, but a call center of that nature also takes hundreds of calls that might otherwise be routed through a typical patrol unit off of that that number. So do you have any, high-level thoughts around the call center and its kind of evolution? And I'm not asking for a big, long conversation on it, but I think it's something that goes unnoticed, and I thought I'd bring attention to it.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I have to agree with you. The implementation of the call center was as a result of COVID. And over the last several years, it has morphed and increased in different aspects. I can tell you that the call center takes, they help the patrol teams just like the patrol teams help them. So if there is stress on the streets as far as calls to be taken, they can direct people to the call center to help out, whether it's take a statement, initiate the report, and vice versa. We do have a population that, in Medicine Hat, a senior population that would rather talk to an individual as well. So the online option isn't good for them. So we do have an online option as well. I think as we continue to grow here and understand, the benefits of our call center, not just in the community, but within our own organization, you're going to see these numbers probably increase as well. So thanks for bringing that up, but I have to agree with you. It does take a considerable amount of the workload off of our patrol level by just taking statements, initiating things, answering questions even. People call in wanting questions, and normally that would have went to a patrol officer in a car. Now we have somebody that can actually take that call, triage it, and phone them back and provide them what they need.
I appreciate you qualifying that. Thank you.
Commissioner, sir?
Just one other question. The downtown patrol unit, I always look at their stats, and the unwanted guest category always seems to be the big user down there. And I'm just wondering about people or business owners down there that are dealing with that. Like, is there a suggested way that they can keep unwanted guests out but keep their front door open? Or what are you recommending to store owners and sort of being proactive? I don't know if there's anything they can do.
Yeah, we've addressed that in numerous different ways. We've told business owners that you can operate your business by locking your doors and letting people in as you see fit. Some choose to do that, some choose not to do that. It's entirely up to them. Case in point, the banks downtown, they've locked their doors after certain hours to combat the question that you just provided. But you got to also realize that the unwanted guest isn't just like people coming into the businesses. They're reporting people that potentially are like loitering outside, and it is an unwanted guest out there as well. So it's not just inside the premise; it can be in and around the premise as well. So anything short of preventing people from going into those locations and saying no, just calling us. We also provide CPTED consultations with different businesses down there, crime prevention through environmental design. So we have people specially trained to go to businesses and look at the layout of their business, whether they have the proper lighting, security cameras. Are they making their business comfortable for other people to go there and lay out front, and is there grass in the area? Different types of environmental designs that can help businesses maybe address some of those unwanted guests, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, we had experience in Lethbridge, being in downtown Lethbridge on a Saturday, and my wife wanted to go into a couple of stores there, and they're locked. You push a buzzer and they ask you your name and what's your purpose, and the store owners are very unhappy with that system because it's deterring customers from coming down there. But
it's certainly not inviting.
They own the building, and that's where it is, and they just got to deal with it. But I don't see that in Medicine Hat where there's a doorbell where they ring and.
I wouldn't say it's the norm for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Inspector Graham? I will ask one since you're on the spot. You mentioned in both of your highlights the first one, a vehicle pursuit. Obviously, public safety is non-negotiable, and you mentioned that a pursuit was not initiated in either case. Can you share anything about the threshold and the decision-making of our patrol officers when it comes to that regard, especially when you pointed out that this suspect used a vehicle to ram a police officer or police vehicle, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a constant evaluation process that the members, along with their supervisors, are doing in the specific situation. Now, no two situations are the same. They're evaluating the offense, for one. They're evaluating potentially the demographics or the individual that is in the vehicle. Is it a youth? Is it somebody that's experienced driving? Is it not? Do they know that the individual is maybe intoxicated by drugs or alcohol? Traffic on the roadways, the condition of the roadways. Is it snowy? Is it, so there's a whole lot of different evaluation things that they're looking at the time to determine whether they're going to initiate a pursuit or not, so.
And as I ask, not assume, I ask, we're aware that for use of force reports, there's a very strict process that officers go through in that case. Would the same be true if someone initiated a pursuit, that they have to validate their reasoning and the situation and the triage of that situation at the time?
Yeah, so in order for a pursuit to occur, they would have to have authorization from a street supervisor.
Okay.
So if it happened and the street supervisor's authorizing it, then it obviously met the threshold.
A very high threshold.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
Deputy Chief Sonny, on to the next.
I'll turn it over to Inspector West for investigation and support services.
Thanks, Deputy. Just a couple of things. One highlight from our criminal investigation section. On August 8th, RCMP had began an investigation to break and enter into a rural property out in the county, and several firearms are stolen, including 4 .22 caliber rifles, a 12-gauge shotgun. And so, they have files like that, the RCMP are pretty good about letting us know. And so we did sort of have the heads up and some information about that. And on August 10th, an individual connected with that investigation was arrested in Medicine Hat for possession of stolen property. A second individual fled from police and was later confirmed to be inside of a residence. The residence was set up containment, made the proper arrests, and the patrol section, of course, did all that, and then major crimes was called in, or criminal investigation section was called in to do the warrant on the residence, and as a result, multiple firearms, ammunition, stolen property, and other items were connected to other offenses were recovered. So this is just a good example of the cooperation between our partner agencies, in this instance, the RCMP, and just the sequence that often takes place and the teamwork that takes place between operations and support services. So in this case, it was patrols did all the dirty work, and then major crimes came in and did the warrant. They've got the time to do that. They've got the expertise, and operations can get on with the day-to-day calls. Not to say that patrol officers don't do search warrants, but oftentimes this time of year, they're pretty backed up, so CIS is pretty quick to jump in. So just a good example of some cooperation and teamwork there. Second thing I'd like to draw your attention to is just a digital forensic unit. Don't really talk too much about that one, but you can see in August they analyzed 23 devices. Those devices can take anywhere from an hour or two to multiple hours to analyze, depending on what we're looking for. And when you think about it, just about every offense that's committed now has digital data. So if somebody shoplifts something, they'll brag to their friends about it. There could be GPS data, there could be text messaging data on a simple theft. Not that we're seizing phones on every call, but you can imagine how 10, 20 years ago, this was not sort of part of the evidence gathering landscape, and now it is every time. We know it's just going to continue to increase, and certainly the service is looking at what our options are as this volume just continues to increase. And that's a pretty rustic version of sort of the evidence that we gather. Of course, they house all kinds of evidence that are great for investigations and prosecution. The other, oh, and just to touch on recruit training on page 17. So the recruit training unit didn't really get much of a break this year. So they went right from the graduation of the recruits in June to starting up our recruit class in October 6th. So they've been basically, they took their holidays quickly after the recruit class, got right back to work, and have been busy preparing for our 8 candidates plus, or sorry, 8 recruits. Along with our guests, we think we're going to be around the 10 or 11 mark, which is kind of a good number for us. And that's all I have from Support and Investigation Services.
Questions for Inspector West? Commissioner Sarah.
I just have one question, and it's sort of kind of offbeat, but the reports with the, where they're, you know, raising a complaint against police officers, and the police officers, for whatever reason, didn't turn their body cameras on? Is that not like something they do like automatically, like start your vehicle? Like shouldn't, I was shocked that some of these were even up for dispute, and they
Yeah,
said, oh, I forgot to turn my camera on.
Well, I don't know that they forget. There's a couple of factors with this, and oftentimes when, you know, events, you know, are dynamic and occur suddenly, the officer will be dealing with the event and simply forget forget to hit the button. You know, and I think that's often the case. I'd like to think that there's, you know, there's never a time where an officer goes, I'm not recording this because I'm going to some, you know, for whatever reason. These situations can be very dynamic, and I think your instinct is to deal with the situation, and it becomes almost a matter of muscle memory, and they miss it sometimes.
Yeah. It just seems that if, you know, that data was available, there would be no complaint. It would be,
Yeah, that's
self-explanatory.
very true. It's when we do have body cam, and obviously everybody knows we're expanding the program. We've only got a limited number of cameras out there, and certainly that's going to impact our the volume of files that we can sort of settle and conclude quickly, for sure.
okay, thank you.
Vice Chair King.
Thank you. I'm not sure if this is more operational or the investigation and support services, but just in reading both the July and August Office of the Chief reports, there's been a number of, I don't know if it's calls or situations involving firearms. And I don't know if I've seen it that much in the past. And I'm just, you know, for instance, on August 3rd as well, there was a incident involved where a shotgun, a sawed-off shotgun was discovered with a defaced serial number on it. Just wondering, are we seeing an uptrend? That I guess what I'm getting at is, are we seeing an uptrend at all in firearms in our city, or just maybe if you could expand on that a little bit for us?
Yeah, I don't have the data, but anecdotally and from my observations, they absolutely have. It seems like firearms appear to be more common. We just there's a couple of news releases today that involve the seizure of firearms, and I can tell you, you know, years ago it was more edged weapons and knives and you know, other types of weapons. So I think they are more common, but don't have the actual data for you.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Inspector West? And we will move on. Deputy Chief Sani.
There's a submitted report from the chief and myself. If there's any questions, I'm willing to take those questions now in regards to those reports.
Thank you. Any questions for DC? Councillor Dumanowski.
Yeah, thank you through the chair. Deputy Chief, just curious, Compassionate Intervention Police Working Group. Can you just speak to, I've not heard that before. It says that you had participated in a meeting with that. Is that is that internal, external? Is that I have no idea.
No, it's a provincial group, and what we're working towards is a Compassionate Intervention Act that's already been put out, and it's in regards to conveyance of members that require a special order that's gone out to go into certain centers to seek treatment. So that's what I'm part of in regards to what is our role as police in regards to this healthcare issue, in regards to conveying members to this local center, either in Lethbridge or Calgary.
Thank you for that. So I was aware of that, but I didn't know that that was what you were referring to, so thanks for clarifying.
No problem.
Any other questions for Deputy Chief Sani? So I'll follow up on that then. That working group is, are you actively evaluating the regulation legislation and providing feedback to its effectiveness or impact on the service? Is that basically, or does it have a wider mandate?
It's from the provincial government, so it's the government of Alberta that's put it together, and they're kind of chairing it, and we're providing our feedback in regards to what it works and how it's going to impact us operationally.
Excellent, thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, Chief Murphy's report was attached to your package, but as you know, he has sent his regrets. There were no items submitted for new business, and we have no one in the gallery. So with that, the next open meeting of the Medicine Hat Police Commission is Wednesday, October 15th at 6 p.m. in council chambers. And I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Commissioner Sir and Councillor Hirsch. Thank you very much for everybody who joined us online, and we will see you next time.